It is unprecedented in American history. Federal agents searched former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home yesterday. They were reportedly looking for documents taken from the White House.
Well, Trump is now accusing his political enemies of using the Justice Department as a weapon against him. Ephraim Graham has more from the CBN News Desk.
Classified documents the president reportedly took from the White House. The president said the agents opened a safe in the residence. President Trump, who was in New York at the time, issued a statement that his home was, quote, currently under siege, raided and occupied by a large group of FBI agents. He also called it the weaponization of the justice system.
All of a sudden, on no notice, they sent 20 cars and 30 agents. Sean, I mean, this is just more political persecution of Donald J. Trump.
Have communicated
it seems to me that they have violated the rules of the.
For months, the government has been in touch with Trump's attorneys. Constitutional attorney Alan Dershowitz told Fox News that a search warrant was unnecessary.
It seems to me that they have violated the rules of the Justice Department. They have gone after both a former president and a future candidate, and they darn well better have smoking gun proof.
Angry protesters gathered outside Mar-a-Lago. The Justice Department had no comment on the search, while President Trump's allies and other Republicans blasted the action. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy said if Republicans win Congress this fall, they will investigate the Justice Department. Andrew?
Thank you, Ephraim. Well, CBN Chief Political Analyst David Brody joins us now. David, this certainly is unprecedented, as we said. Where do you think the Justice Department could take it from here?
Well, I think all indications here, Andrew, is that indeed the Justice Department is looking for some sort of potential indictment here. I don't think there's any question about it. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that if you're going to raid the home of the former president, you better have, as Alan Dershowitz was saying, you better have the goods. And if you don't have the goods, you're in big trouble. So look, you're not going to raid a former president's home without thinking about the end game here. And the end game clearly seems to be an indictment. It also suggests that the attorney general here, Merrick Garland, clearly has the gumption, has the chutzpah, if you will, to do what many Democrats have wanted him to do all along, especially the January 6th committee, in essence saying, go ahead, let's indict this guy. A lot of people didn't think Merrick Garland might do it, but this raid suggests that he just may. And I think that's the big concern. The real question here is, I got to tell you, Andrew, at this point, what did Merrick Garland sign off on exactly? What was the process? What's the TikTok here? How much did the White House know? We know the White House knew something. It doesn't take, like I said, a rocket scientist to figure out that if you're going to invade and raid the home of a former president, that no one at the White House knew. They knew. Come on, we're not stupid. And so did Biden know? We assume Ron Klain, the White House chief of staff, knew. Anyhow, the point is there's a lot more to sift through here for sure.
Well, obviously, the timing doesn't seem coincidental. It's interesting because the president just recently released a video, and not his usual style. It looked to me a little different kind of theme here, hinting he might soon announce candidacy for president in 2024. So a lot of people, of course, naturally think this is just to derail those plans. What kind of impact do you see this having in the next election cycle?
Well, I think it's going to have a huge impact. I think we saw the 2024 election begin, in essence, yesterday, August 8th, 2022. Remember the date. That's the day that American history changed forever from a political standpoint. This has never been done before. And I think what you're going to see, because remember, President Trump just released that video that you're talking about, Andrew, after the raid. And that video, if you go to it, he put it up on Truth Social, and you can probably see it in a lot of different places. It's a very, very different campaign ad. Normally, a campaign ad has music and it has, some, celebration. This was nothing like that. There was rain. You heard raindrops in the background. It was thunder and rain and ominous talk about where we are as a country. This was very, very different than all of Trump's ad. Maybe not the actual rhetoric, but the tone of the ad was very different. So look, I think personally, if Democrats don't want Trump to sniff the White House ever again, and obviously that's their intention, they want him indicted for sure. But if that's their intention, I've got to tell you, if that's their intention, Andrew, well, then they've blown it, because I think this gives Donald Trump a glide path more to the nomination than ever before. They're making him out to be a political martyr. I mean, even people that aren't big fans of Trump would say, what in the world are you doing raiding the home of a former president? Once again, it gets back to the key question. Why did they do it? We need answers, and we need answers very quickly from an FBI that most Americans just don't trust right now.
Well, right, David, and even Trump's political opponents know that this does nothing more than just rally his base and, as you said, prop him up even more. And some Republicans who may not have been interested in supporting him before this kind of generates greater passion for them, for the Republican side. So I guess that's what it comes down to. Does the justice system think they have enough? Otherwise, this really backfires.
Well, that's right. And also, it plays right into what Trump has been saying all along. You know, Trump keeps complaining, they're out to get me, they're out to get me, they're out to get me. And then look what happened on August 8th, 2022. They raided the home. We're all understanding this, right? They raided a home of the former president of the United States. Forget Trump for a second. If they can raid the former the home of the former president, what does that mean for you and me? I mean, if you think about it, there is a lot of distrust with the FBI right now. And now all of a sudden we find out that 87,000 more IRS agents are going to be hired, if you will, in this new Inflation Reduction Act. Look, a lot of people are putting all of the pieces of the puzzle together, and they're not happy with what's going on. We are at a huge point in American history right now, right today.
David, last question. I wonder if this puts other candidates on pause, other Republicans who are thinking of running for president. Are they going to kind of wait this out a little more to see what goes on with former President Trump here before they make a decision? Are they going to run or not?
No, that's a great, astute observation, Andrew. I think you're right. I think this changes the calculus for a lot of folks. I mean, I think this, in essence, rallies a lot of those candidates to Trump's side. I'm not going to suggest like a Mike Pence or something along those lines, but there's Mike Pompeo, there's other people that are thinking about running. If Trump gets in the race, a lot of them won't run, though I think Pence would run. But the point is that I do believe that this is going to garner more Republican support, even possibly more establishment Republican support for Trump, to say, look, this is a bridge too far that Democrats have done. This is a huge deal. Democrats have given Trump the ultimate talking point. The ultimate talking point. I mean, everybody can say, oh, Trump's just being, it's all hyperbole. Oh, Trump says everybody's out to get him. It's all Trump and his ego. Hold on. We have a raid of a former president at his home. That is a major talking point that no one can ignore. It makes Trump to Democrats more dangerous, and to Republicans and MAGA a lot more popular, and possibly the next president of the United States.
All right, David, we always appreciate your analysis. Thanks so much for being here with us.